This Monero Matteo video is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Safely store, send, receive, and trade your Monero on Cake Wallet on Android and iOS. All right, what's going on, guys? Monero Matteo, welcome back. So we had a good chat with our friend over at the Money Today show today, and so expect that video to come here pretty soon on his channel sometime in the next couple days. He's in Albania right now, enjoying the nice weather over there, and I guess people are... I gotta have my pen. Okay, good. For some reason, I need something in my hands when I'm talking to people. I don't know what it is. It's just like my ADD. It's just like I need to... I don't know. But anyways, he's enjoying his time over there in Eastern Europe. Apparently, it's a pretty exotic, nice place, and he's going to be going to an Orthodox church. I guess he likes what we talk about here on the channel in regards to that and found it interesting. So I hope that Money Today show, if you're watching this, you enjoy that. I hope that there is fulfillment there for you. And also want to thank the patrons. I want to thank everyone else supporting the channel just to start out. So today, we're going to just do some updates on some things going on in Monero, our favorite crypto, Monero First. And I keep looking at this. I keep returning back to this website. And this is a new website to me. I didn't see this before a couple days ago. But I must say, this is really, really interesting stuff. And look, I had always warded off these price manipulation speculations until the other day when we did a video on it. We looked at the evidence. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. We run through the arguments for and against price manipulation. Is it happening? Is it not happening? And one of the things that we looked at is this website, which tells you the longs, the shorts, the price, and the action therein of everything. Hedged and unhedged shorts, percentage of longs to shorts. And I want to start off here because the shorts are continuing to explode to the upside. And again, if you're new to this, check this out. I mean, your mind may be blown by this. And this may be news to you as it was news to me. But look at this, right? So here are the shorts for Bitcoin way down here. And here are the longs. Like, as you see, the longs are way above the shorts. And you'd expect this, right? With inflation and the monetary system for the dollar, which is what all this is measured against, and deflation or disinflation for all these currencies. Disinflation, particularly for Monero, because it has a tail emission, which means there's still a little bit of inflation. But relative to the expansion of the supply of dollars out there, certainly disinflationary, if not totally deflationary. But check it out. In Litecoin, again, many more longs than you have shorts. In Ethereum, many more longs than you have shorts. By a lot. By a lot. Okay? And we could go on down the list as we did in the video. But look at this. The shorts are significantly ahead in Monero, which is strange. But if you look at what's been going on over the last few days, if you start on the 15th there, the shorts have just exploded, right? And the longs have remained relatively stable. And this is just strange to me because there are so many bullish things happening for Monero right now. And the number of Moneros being introduced into the system continues to decrease, as happens with just about every cryptocurrency. But now it's decreasing by quite a lot. I mean, there's barely any Monero being introduced into the system. And it's not like this is a chart of Monero going down against Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, because we know Bitcoin has been up lately. It's been charging forward. I think it's at a $1.2 trillion market cap now, so lots of attraction being paid there. And I anticipate some of that to go into Monero and some of these other altcoins. But just consider the fact that these shorts are exploding at a time when you have financial suppression going on around the world, at a time when the inflation is getting off the chain in the United States, at a time when atomic swaps are now in action. Okay, you can do atomic swaps right now from Monero to Bitcoin and vice versa. Okay, and the transaction volume is going nuclear in Monero. I mean, it's never been more popular than it has been right now. So it's just so strange to me, and I can go on and on and on. The fact that this is happening is very strange. But I just wanted to give you an update on that. Remember, guys, to take your Monero off the exchanges. Do not leave it on there, because if you leave it on there, they could loan it out to people to then short sell. Okay? And if you take it off the exchange, that means They have less to loan out, which means less short selling. And who knows if the Monero that they're loaning out is even real. I mean, we don't even know that. It could just be all funny stuff. Because again, Monero is private. We don't know how much Monero they have. They don't like give us their view key so that we can see what their supply is. It's just, we don't know. We don't know. And other commenters have asked me, is this happening with Pirate Chain? Is this happening with other private cryptos? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't even know if it's happening for Monero. I mean, there are many arguments to go against the price manipulation theory. But I will say that this is weird. It's weird, right? But nevertheless, I expect that if private cryptos do get accepted by more exchanges, then stuff like this could happen as well. So just keep a lookout for that. Is Trade Ogre doing that? I don't think so. I think Trade Ogre is ironically the most honest exchange in the world. I mean, centralized exchange anyway. And it looks like Monero is at the top of the list here, so that's good. And I think there was a big buy order for a lot of Monero here at 400,000 sats. So whales coming in. Maybe they are watching our videos. Maybe they understand there's a problem here. And look, I've thought about this. Maybe we got to write a Wall Street Bets article. We got to write one of those due diligence articles saying, hey, looks like there's a huge short position against this. Here's the bullish case. We could squeeze the crap out of these guys. Let's do it. And maybe we take down all the crypto exchanges and then everyone goes broke, except the Monero bros. Wouldn't that be sweet? I don't know. But if we did that and we raised awareness about this, as happened with the silver squeeze earlier this year, I mean, seriously, guys, we could make something big happen. Just throwing that idea out there. But, yeah. Now to move on. I want to just go over some more bullish news here for Monero, some developments. So this person posted this a couple days ago. This sounds like a great idea. This person is working on a project that would basically make it so that you could use it as a search engine, and you could search for Reddit usernames, and it will scrap all the users' comments and posts to try to find if they have ever published a crypto address. And if they did, it will save it on a database, and it will check the blockchain to find its balance. And so, as far as I understand, this is already up and running. They're doing it for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Nano addresses. It's kind of random, Nano, but this is by Hoiru, I think is his name, or Pluja is the dude's name, or dudette's name, I'm not sure. But that would be a really good idea. I mean, that would really raise awareness as to how not private these blockchains are. And frankly, I don't know where people are at with this Bitcoin thing because, again, I'm on Twitter all the time telling people to buy Monero, telling people to reject and repent from their Bitcoin ways. And just there's so many people saying, this is our way out of financial surveillance. This is our way to freedom. This is our way to live in a world where we don't have, the banks in control, the government's in control. And I just don't understand this perspective. Either they don't understand that Bitcoin is not private. And we're going to do a video on this later. Seth for Privacy, I found that he has a really good article on this. And I'll link it maybe in the description. But he talks about all of the instances where people's Bitcoins has been conscripted by either governments or exchanges, their exchange accounts shut down because they're using wallets, which they can coin join in, they can Bitcoin mix, and they are able to algorithmically pick that up because they're tracking your Bitcoin on and off the exchange, and then they can ban you. They could just shut down your account. And so with their capacity to track this stuff, expanding into the future, their capacity to tax you, expanding into the future, I just don't understand where people are coming from when they say, oh, cool, like this is going to be freedom money, because it's not. It's not. And with Bitcoin mining centralization happening, as we talked about in our previous video, go check it out. We've done pretty good work on that. But if mining centralization happens enough in the United States, they're actually going to be able to censor your payments. Seriously, that's the thing. So just consider all that. And this is going to be even better in getting that word out, which is fantastic because we really need to exhort to people and teach them that these are not private, and the implications of these things not being private is significant. So this is great. Thank you, Pluja, for this. And he recommends that you test it here. And he recommends Monero as the only option to solve this. Love it. Monero first. Correct. So this is a great development. Let's check out some of the comments. Some of these were really good. Yeah, this guy's talking about adding support for Twitter because people want to put their Bitcoin addresses in on Twitter. It's just like, no, stop, don't do this. You're hurting me. But yeah, if you integrate Twitter, that'd be great too. And he's thinking about adding it. He's saying he will add it as soon as I can. So this is going to be great to freak people out because as much as you're going to be able to look up stuff on this particular software that he's establishing, the government has tools and techniques that will far outweigh and outdo whatever he's coming up with, I assure you. And just a reference to something else we did in our Dapper Labs video, we talked about how Google's crypto investment arm, Google GV, I think is the name of it, they had invested hundreds of thousands of dollars. Actually, I think they invested millions of dollars into blockchain.com, which is a Bitcoin wallet website. And it's a website you could go to type in people's wallet addresses and figure out their Bitcoin balance and their past transactions. So they're already lasered in on this stuff. They're already figuring all this stuff out. So, yeah, this will help get the word out. That's really awesome. Really, really awesome, bruh. So, more good comments here. But let's just go ahead and get to the next story. This is from Justin today. Justin, German guy. Ehrenhofer. He says, all signs point to Monero increasing its mandatory ring size from 11 to 16 in the next software upgrade, which will be the largest absolute ring size increase in history. So if it wasn't private enough, you're about to get an upgrade to the privacy. So that's really key. And if you don't know how ring sizes work, Justin has great videos on that. There are other great technical videos on that. But basically, there's your transaction, there's a ring, and then your transaction gets put into a ring with, if it goes to 16 for the ring size, 15 other transaction decoys, which are other transactions which are pulled from the blockchain, which are used at random to hide your transaction among the other transactions. So that's how that works. And the bigger the ring size, the bigger the privacy. And also, by the way, guys, the more that we use Monero, the more transactions we have, well, the more of an anonymity set we'll have because there will be more for those rings to pull from as decoys. And the more transactions there are, the less capacity that whoever's analyzing the blockchain and watching it can figure out which transaction is yours, especially if it's being jumbled up in a bunch of transactions that are relatively new. Because they're not going to be able to update their databases that quickly. Does that all make sense? So again, more bullish stuff happening on top of like the bazillion other bullish things happening, which is great. Seraphis, we talked about that as well. Pretty bullish. They're working on Haveno, which is a decentralized peer-to-peer exchange, which is going to be huge. It's going to pull a lot of capital away from the centralized exchanges, from traders in particular. And Monero is going to be the base crypto used on Haveno, which means ever more liquidity, ever more anonymity set, and less capacity to short it, like these goobers, right? So, last story of the day, ransomware is now a $1 billion market. Analysis of ransomware payments reveals several interesting trends. So, the total related payments used for ransomware. Wait, hold on. I think this is just an analysis of several hundred cryptocurrency wallets. It's not all of them, per se. But this analysis of these wallets shows $5.2 billion in transactions related to ransomware. Now, most of that is in Bitcoin, it seems. Now, just wait until these people figure out about Monero. And Monero is at a less than $5 billion market cap, so that's going to make it shoot up pretty significantly. And I'm not saying ransomware is good, again. Disclaimer, don't do that. But a story that we looked at, I believe in our original Bitcoin censorship video, was how OFAC, which is an arm of the United States Treasury, which is responsible for enacting sanctions against economic enemies, they have started to blacklist entire exchanges. And those exchanges got blacklisted because they were pretty much allowing people to cash out Bitcoin that they had received through ransomware. And so if that continues to happen, then I suspect that more are going to go to Monero. A blockchain analysis by the U.S. Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, of transactions tied to 177 convertible virtual currency wallets, CVCs, has identified roughly $5.2 billion in outgoing Bitcoin transactions potentially tied to ransomware payments. I love how it says potentially tied. And if it's potential enough, they'll take it, as Kevin Watt talked about in one of his most recent videos. Go check it out. On his channel, he talks about how the Netherlands government had conscripted Bitcoin out of somebody's Binance account because it was suspected to be involved in something nefarious. It was tainted. And presumably this guy didn't know he had received tainted Bitcoin. Nevertheless, that is the risk that comes with using this stuff. So check it out. This is the growth of ransomware. FinCEN had noticed that the number of ransomware-related SARs, which is a suspicious activity report, filed monthly between the 1st of January of this year to June 30th, has grown rapidly. The number represents a growth of 30%. So ransomware is on the rise, which is, again, bullish for Monero. I hate to say it, but it's true. Right? And nothing is mentioned here about Monero. They probably don't want to give it a shout out because they know it'd be an advertisement. But yeah, a lot of people still using Bitcoin, it seems. And so let's check this out. This is another great post by, oh, and if I didn't say before, this is from the website techradar.com, written by Mayank Sharma. Thank you, Mayank. And this is written by Elise D on the Monero Reddit, this one right here, where he's talking about FinCEN financial trend analysis. And so it looks like very few of the payments are made in Monero relative to Bitcoin. But that looks like it could be changing. And this guy makes a really good comment right here about how $5 billion in ransomware paid this year in Bitcoin is very problematic for Bitcoin as a whole. Now, it may not be problematic to you if you hold Bitcoin, but this is because this is deflationary. But check it out. This guy does the math. $5 billion divided by $30,000, which is the average price for Bitcoin in 2021, equals 166,666 Bitcoin. Too many sixes. I don't like that. Lord have mercy. Additional tainted Bitcoins this year. So that's not good. That's not great. And he says, soon almost all Bitcoin will be tainted, like almost all US dollars got traces of cocaine. And Dragon-sided, he says something smart here. He says, I don't like this analogy. Physical cocaine dust scrambles its past into entropy. Digital transparent blockchain dust has no such entropy. You can see exactly where each particle of dust came from and where it was before that and so on. So, right. Everything is on the blockchain forever, guys. Never forget that. Never, ever, ever forget that. If you do something sketchy with your Bitcoin at any time and there's a way to link that to you, it's there forever, okay? And especially in regards to taxes, which is why I always say to pay your taxes. Always pay your taxes, guys. And again, I'm a tax accountant. I know about that stuff. Let me know if you need any consultations. But nevertheless, it's on there forever. And there's no statute of limitation for tax fraud. And if you do tax fraud 20 years prior, they can still get you for that. Okay, there's no getting away from this, guys. So just understand that when you use public blockchains and you're not logging everything that you're doing in order to properly pay the taxman may employ firms like Chainalysis, which they already do, by the way, to look into the blockchain and figure out who's not paying their taxes. And as governments get ever more in debt, they're going to find more crypto bros to extract wealth out of. I promise you this is coming. And when this tax season starts to really get going, I think that people are going to figure out this. And they're going to become much more suspicious of this. And I think, again, this is bullish for the privacy space. So something to think about. Yep, this guy makes a joke. He says, authorities, Bitcoin is bad because it's used for money laundering and to finance terror. Terroristas. Also authorities. Hi, Master Criminal. Can you please accept ransom in Bitcoin so we can trace you? Really appreciate it. Thanks. Right. Yep. If you're a ransomware hacker using Bitcoin, you're an idiot. Just straight up. Which is why it was so unbelievable to me that like the meat processing issue that took place earlier this year, and I think the Colonial Pipeline was a similar issue where the Ruskies, quote unquote, like the hooded Ruskies somewhere in Belarus, right, hacked these American nodes, I guess you could say, and demanded Bitcoin for ransom. And then the FBI somehow got it back. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're smart enough to do these cyber crimes and to pull this stuff off, which is beyond my capacity of comprehension. But then you demand Bitcoin. And of course, it's Russians too. Like, I have to just throw that story out into the wind. Like, I can't believe that even existed. It or even happened. It sounds like this is why people are conspiracy theorists, right? Anyway, so yeah, attacker only requested XMR, $2.4 million. Attacker provided both XMR and Bitcoin wallet addresses, $34 million. Other, $500 million. And this is for Monero. So the total for Monero payments, it seems, for ransomware is about $37 million versus the $5 billion in Bitcoin. And I expect that trend to increase for Monero and go down for Bitcoin, in my opinion, as more people figure out about this stuff and more ransomware people watch our channel. Right? So here is just something interesting else to throw out. This is regarding virtual private network technologies and the growth of the industry. And again, if people want to be private on the internet, they're probably going to want to be private with their internet money. So check it out. Virtual private network market size exceeded $30 billion in 2020 and is projected to grow at about 15% per year from 2021 to 2027. I imagine that's correct. And yeah, that's going to be significant. 2027 value projection is $120 billion. And the market cap of Monero is less than $5 billion. So again, bullish. Much more room to run. Look at this chart. More adoption by virtual private networks, i.e. internet privacy. I imagine internet privacy money should have the same arc. But nevertheless, these geniuses must know more than we do. I mean, they think that it's perfectly appropriate to have twice as many shorts as there are longs. Like, that's how confident they are about this. I mean, clearly they know something we don't, guys. It's not like we haven't been talking about Monero in depth and making the most bullish case ever for the last 3 months. No. These guys are ahead of the curve, right? I don't understand this. If you guys could explain this action to me as to why there are so many people shorting this, I'd love to know. Because again, we saw how their longs outdoing the shorts on every other crypto. Again, Zcash, longs way above the shorts. And if we look at IOTA, longs way above the shorts. EOS, longs way above the shorts. I mean, again, Ripple's the same thing. We don't have to go there. But look at this. This is just very strange to me. What is going on here? So that's all I wanted to go through today. We're going to go through some more stuff tomorrow. And that's it. More good news for Monero. More bullish stuff happening, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep the faith. I know the price action ain't that exciting, but look, Monero tends to move in violent movements. And I think that when more Bitcoin bros decide, hey, you know what, I don't want to pay, redonkulous levels of tax on my Bitcoin, or maybe they decide, maybe it's a good idea to get private with all the financial surveillance now coming out, and now I realize that Bitcoin ain't that private at all. Again, pay your taxes, don't do anything illegal. Disclaimer, times 100. I'm just telling you what people are probably going to think and do. They're going to go to Monero. They're going to go to some of these other cryptos. And, to be bearish Monero, again, to be shorting Monero, you-ha, man. I don't get it. So that's it. Monero Matteo, short video for the day. That's it. That is it. What else do I want to say? There's something I wanted to say, or maybe I'm just not used to videos that short. But I think this is good info, good intel. Look for that Money Today video. It's great chatting with him. Check out our social media links below. Go follow us on Odyssey especially. Thank you everyone who's coming to follow us on Odyssey. I love y'all's comments. I love y'all watching the vids over there because at some point we're probably going to just have to migrate over there permanently. But I think that we keep this rather family friendly. There's no reason to kick us off, but nevertheless, YouTube is rather antagonistic to our way of life here, our freedoms and our liberties. So we'll see what happens, but go follow us there. I'm going to put stuff over there I probably can't put on YouTube anyway, so you get more content. And then Twitter, I'm making more posts, Telegram, all that stuff. And then donation links below if you want to leave like a private super chat. Go ahead and send me a message through the Conceal Network with the donation, as well as with Pirate Chain. You can leave messages as well, which are totally encrypted. You could send that with the donation as well. It's kind of like a private super chat. Same thing with Zano. And then, of course, send us Monero to the lovely Cake Wallet. And I don't think you can include messages there, but you can send me a Proton Mail email, and then I'll read it out to the folks. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And PayPal, too, if you guys want to keep it easy. Have a wonderful day. God bless. We'll see you soon.